Hola, amigos! It's time to bring the noise here. Another rollicking edition of the Bring the Noise AMA. Happy NFL Week 16. Hopefully, you're still alive in your fantasy football playoffs. The chances are, if you're watching this highly punchable face, that is indeed the case. I'm still a buzz. I kind of got after last night in celebration. I still cannot believe that the Bears came back and won that sucker against the Green Bay Packers, recovered the onside, and the bomb dropped. Dude, dropped a bomb on me, baby. That's exactly what Caleb Williams said to DJ Moore as the Bears took down their arch rivals in spectacular and thrilling fashion. And that was just Saturday, folks. And of course, we had Philadelphia clinching their playoff berth. Taking down their division rivals there, the Washington Commanders. But we got more football to get after it here on this Sunday AMA with the main slate upcoming here in Week 16 of the NFL season. And you can ask me a variety of questions below, whether fantasy football or sports betting as well. Happy to hear you out. If you have any questions or comments, bring the noise. That's what the title of this show is. And those are the ways you can get a hold of me right now at Facebook, on Yahoo Noise, and Twitter, Big Noise 78, YouTube, and the Faith the Noise channel, and on X, where I'm always giving it to you there at Noisy Oavos. And I appreciate you checking out all of the content as well. Hopefully, you're indeed checking that out on my site. What's it called? Oh, here it is. TheGamingJuice.com. It's absolutely free, you jackwagons. I don't charge you a single dime. All of my fantasy football rankings, which I did update this morning, and may get one more update in before kickoff, waiting on a couple of news and notes to come out. Whether guys are going to be active, inactive, at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. You can view those rankings every single week. I always get them out early, and I shuffle dudes about throughout the entire week, monitoring all the various news bites that are coming out and players' availability. So you get all that at thegamingjuice.com, and I don't charge you a dime. You also get my Fantasy Flames column. I'll have one more this week. It'll be the cherry on top of the Sunday for the NFL season. No, I don't write anything in Week 18. And no, you should not be playing your fantasy championships in Week 18 with several teams possibly, of course, sitting guys every single season. So I'm going to take a final bow on the Fantasy Flames, so you can read that piece on my site for free. Coming up this week, we're going to have another college football playoff piece from Matt Fortuna, Ben Winstein, and Nate Jacobson. Ben was white hot with his prognostications in the opening round, largely snoozers outside Oklahoma and Alabama, and of course Texas A&M and Miami, who expected a field goal kicking contest. That game was wild. The other two, of course, were letdowns because the little guys really shouldn't be in the college football playoff discussion, but that's another conversation for another day. And get it all. You can also ask me a question, ask Brad, click it at the top of the page and fire away, and I'll get back at my leisure, at my convenience. Again, you get everything for absolutely nothing. I do it for the love of creating content at thegamingjuice.com. So go, click, converse, and cash. Maybe. Also, check out my friends at Betalytics. I use their prognostications every single day, whether it's on bets in the NFL or some of the other sports that are out there. They're cranking out projections in the NBA, the NHL, college football, and one of my specialties, college basketball as well. And if you use promo code JUICE, again, that's promo code JUICE, you get 25% off right stinking now. So go to Betalytics.com and check out all of what they have to offer there. All right, before I get into my abbreviated edition of the Faith 5 Countdown, my top three bets of the day, a friendly reminder, again, if you have fantasy football questions, you want to share your sports betting thoughts as well, or maybe got some questions in that hobby, fire away via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, Twitch at Big Noise 78, YouTube, Fade the Noise, and also on X. Again, where I'm always giving it to you there at Noisy Huevos. All right, numero tres on this abbreviated edition of the Fade 5 Countdown. I think the highest scoring game of the day is going to be Falcons and Cardinals, a game a lot of people aren't really remotely thinking about with these two squads already in off-season mode. And look at the odds on that. Plus 700, really rolling the shoulders because I got seduced by that juice. Defense going to be highly optional in this game. Both these secondaries are lousy. Both the front lines are largely lousy. And again, mentally, these guys are somewhere on the Hawaiian Islands sipping Mai Tais right now. That's kind of where I would like to be as well. So Jacoby Brissett has been really an underappreciated producer at the quarterback position. I even think Kirk Cousins is going to throw a couple of touchdowns. And yes, I bet on that over 1.5 passing TDs at plus 112. So again, given the juice associated, there's going to be stiff competition to have the highest scoring game of the week, but this game could finish well into the 30s if the offenses do fire on all cylinders. So numero tres here on this abbreviated edition of the Fade 5 Countdown. Give me the Falcons Cardinals highest scoring game just today at plus 700 there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Numero dos on this edition of the Fade 5 Countdown, Jameson Williams going to be a juggernaut again. And this line's been creeping up. I actually grabbed it open at 66.5. It was at very noise. 69.5 yesterday. And now one tick higher there at 70.5 receiving yards, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I still think he's going to crush us. He might flirt with 100, folks. So if you want to break out a little step ladder, take it at the 70.5 number, 80, 90, 100. I certainly don't hate that. Why? Well, you look at the Steelers this season. They have allowed the 7th most wide receiver yards of any defense in the National Football League. A dozen WRs have hit the 70-yard mark against them. I know he's going to get a lot of Joey Porter Jr. in coverage, who on a mano-a-mano basis has been rather appreciable. 45.7% catch rate is all he allowed, along with a 51 flat passer rating. But look at JMO. That guy is scorching right now. 5.8 targets per game is all that he's averaged, but he is top 10 in total yak on the season, top 5 in yards per target, and top 3 in yards per catch. He's averaging 18 yards flat per grab and has gone over this prop in 5 of his last 6, and he's on the fast track at home. So you know that Jared Goff usually tees off in those environments, and the Lions are really in a must-win situation in light of everything that has transpired here in terms of the playoff pecking order. If they have a shot, they have to take care of business tonight or today at home against the Steelers. So give me Jameson Williams over 70.5 receiving yards. I almost think he's must-start material in fantasy. Could crank out a top 10 WR line today. All right, numero uno, this abbreviated edition of the Fade 5 Countdown. Give me Mr. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. He's got absolutely nothing to play for but pride and moving up the historical ranks on pass catching tight ends. And for that reason, give me the over 4.5 receptions, taking on the hopeless and hapless Tennessee Titans at a little babysitters by the juice there at a plus 105 at BetMGM. You look at Tennessee, they're number 28 in drop back EPA defense over the last handful of weeks on the season. They're giving up 5.5 receptions per game to tight ends. 3 of the last 4 starting tight ends they've gone up against have hauled in at least 5 grabs against them. I mean, look at Kelce. He's done this 5 times this season, and he's, I know he's only averaging 6.6 targets per game. He's just number 23 in catchable target rate, and I realize Patty Mahomes is out with that ACL, so Gardner Minshew is going to be twirling the ball in his own direction, which he did immediately. So he came into the game late last week, chucked 5 passes. 1 was an INT. 1 went to Rashee Rice. The other 3 all went to Travis Kelce. He was funneling passes in the future Hall of Famers way, and it can be more of the same today. So give me Travis Kelce over 4.5 receptions against the Titans at a plus 105 at BetMGM. All right, folks, time to answer your questions. This is how you interact with the show. And give me a thumbs up. Give me a smiley face emoji. Give me a middle finger emoji. I don't care. Interact with this broadcast as much as you possibly can, and I greatly appreciate it. I do this out of the kindness of my heart every single week. Am I getting paid for this? No. But I know you have pressing fantasy needs, and I am a Hall of Fame voice in the industry. Yes, that is a real thing, and they actually put me in it. So I'm gladly here to offer my opinion. And again, I don't charge you a single dime. So no complaining at Jack Wagons. Again, these are the ways you can contact me. Facebook at Yahoo Noise, Twitch Big Noise 78, YouTube Via the Noise channel, and on X at Noisy Oabos. All right, let's go ahead and get after it here. And kicking things off, we got Daniel. How about damn Bears? Bear down, Chicago Bears. Man, I love dramatic football, especially when it involves a team that I know and love. I mean, they were lousy for much of that game. You might have a different point of view than I do because I thought Jordan Love tucked his helmet down and he drew the helmet-to-helmet contact and sadly knocked himself out of the game. Bears got flagged as a result. What's the defender supposed to do in that situation when he's already launched at the player and he lowers his head? I hate that. But anyway, Bears, just remarkable game. I'm still stunned they recovered the onside, and of course winning with that bomb from Caleb Williams and DJ Moore. Soldier Field was in a frenzy. The city was abuzz. And I'm totally here for it. Absolutely great stuff. Great stuff there from Daniel, too. Phil's, I'm at a 10-team PBR keeper. Since I lost last week, do I want to win this week and get the 6th seed in next year's draft or lose on purpose to get the... No. What do you... Don't lose on purpose. It's like, it's one position, man. And oftentimes you're just hoping that your round one pick is going to be able to, play a full slate of games. There's no guarantee in that. There's a risk with everybody. I mean, I had one team. I think I only won 3 times this season in my local fantasy league because injury after injury impacted me with all of my top draft picks. At one time, I had 6 guys on IR. It was utterly ridiculous. So there's no guarantees in anything. So play for now, mi amigo. Always play for now. Jason says, no question today. And I thank you for all the help this year. Merry Christmas, Brad. Merry Christmas to you, my man. Let the eggnog flow. Celebrate. Hopefully, the gambling is going to work out in your general direction. If you have some tickets open, or maybe you're still alive in some of your fantasy leagues, or you're just kicking back, spending time with the family, by the fire, watching some football. Enjoy it, my man. Thank you, Jason, for the interaction and the shout out there. Al says, hola, amigo. Justin Herbert or Baker, the touchdown maker, in a colossal game against the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to maximize the matchup here. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert taking on Little D. And that Dallas secondary has still been largely woeful. They've shown some improvement, but well outside the top 20 in drop back EPA defense since week 10. I also like a prop tie to Justin Herbert. I'm going to share it with you. I love the over on 16.5 rush yards. I know he's rather inconsistent in that category. 1 week he may have like 5 rushing attempts for 30 yards. Another week he'll have like 2 for -1. They're all like kneel downs. So I think he's going to take off and run, as Dallas has allowed the 5th most rush yards to the quarterback position this season. Most importantly, Dallas is number 1 in pocket pressure rate. So those are what we call flushable situations, flushable opportunities for Herbert. So I think it tuck tail and run a few times, gone over the 16.5 rush yards and 10 of 14. So ultimately that just raises the bottom line. Probably going to throw for at least 230 and a couple of scores as well. Give me Herbert over Baker Mayfield. Shane says, hola to you, Shane. Full point PPR start 2. Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson. Ooh, head on the same team. Audric Esame, Michael Pittman, or Khalil Shakir. I want at least one of those Cardinals in my lineup. Again, if I feel Falcons Cardinals, a battle of the birds there in the desert, has a chance to be the highest scoring game of Sunday, give me all the shares I could possibly get. So Wilson is in. And you know what? I'll probably start both Cardinals. SMA is interesting. The Jets, the single engine Cessnas have crashed and burned so many times defensively. Pittman, I don't really trust because of Phillip Rivers. Khalil Shakir, also very, very interesting. And his match going against Cleveland, but I kind of like both Desert Birds. That's my vote. Good luck to you, Shane. Addison says, hola, amigo. Still looking for a Rivers rush attempt prop. Have a great day. I don't think that's going to show up. He's going to just operate in shotgun. It was marvelous seeing him out there, against Seattle and looked pretty good. By the way, I do have a Phillip Rivers prop that I wrote about on thegamingjuice.com. It's already live. It's on the right rail if you look for it, but I'm going to put it in the featured spot a little bit later today. So if you want some action on Philly Rivers, yeah, clacking a clack. This boy is rolling the dice in a category. Which one? Well, check it out at thegamingjuice.com. And good luck to you, Addison. I know you are a degen like yours truly. Daniel says, AD Mitchell or Estimate, PPR flex spot. I'm going to go Estimate. He was really a feature player immediately in the pass game with Tyler Shuck last week. He is a bit of a battering ram between the tackles, a guy that's always generated appreciable yak in his brief NFL career out of Notre Dame. So I'd like Estimate. Jets stink. I bet on the over immediately on rush yards, which opened at 28.5. Last I saw was like 40.5 at BetMGM. So you want to talk about some CLV? That's what I got. Also took the over on Estimate, 12.5 receiving yards. I think there's considerable upside with him, and you got to give yourself a reason to watch Saints and Jets. Oh my God, a puke-inducing matchup. Good luck to you, Daniel. Let's say J Red, Daddy want, Daddy need, Daddy gotta have it. And folks, the Sledgehammer is still alive and well on my radio show, BetMGM Tonight, which is expanding nationwide on the new Westwood One Sports. So you want to check that out. Myself and Pat Boyle going to be getting after it starting December 29th, every Monday through Friday from 6 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be, a lot of traditional sports talk, but of course with betting and fantasy talk mixed in, during the important fantasy season, which is right now in fantasy football. Bears will win the division. Bear down, J Red says. Man, I hope so. They got a rough schedule these next couple of games at San Francisco and Detroit. It's all going to come down to that battle against the Lions in week 18, although thankfully that one's at Soldier Field. Lefty MCG, hola, you jackwagon. Hola to you, you fellow jackwagon. Got a running back and underneath too. Warren, Gainwell, Michael Carter. All right, I'll get Michael Carter in here, and I'll go with Jalen Warren for the other one. And Warren's losing work to Gainwell, but who's got the most touchdown appeal? I think Warren does. Gainwell actually may have more pass catching appeal. He may get another 4 to 6 receptions in the game against HWA, in a game that could be on the fast track. But I think Warren's got a really good shot of splashing 6. And I'll go with Carter just to diversify the banjo. Ryan says, hola, amigo. Wow, a long one here. Great Bears win last night. That being said, Stroud or next. I'm going to go with a loud, proud member of Team Stroud. This guy, I think it's going to be a pair of touchdowns. Probably, a little bit suppressing yards because it's Vegas. But the ground game, not exactly reliable right now for Houston. So I think they're going to lean on Stroud to move the chains, get some points to the board. I think Nico Collins could go nuclear as well. And then 2 running backs start between Aaron Jones, Genty, Carter, Jalen Warren. Warren and Jones are in for me. And then which 2 wide receivers between my cousin Mike Evans, he's in, or DK Metcalf and Ibuka sits. I start DK, and I start Mike Evans. Good luck to you, Ryan. J-Red says, PPR, Waddle or Mike Evans? You trust Ewers? We don't know what he can really bring to the table. I am not going to play Waddle. Give me my cousin, Mike Evans, in a must-win scenario, it seems like. for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yar. Josh says, hola, amigo. Need one half-point BBR. Harrison, Aaron Jones, Michael Carter, or Kamani Vidal. Ooh, close one here. Give me Aaron. Aaron Jones barely over Harrison. And Carter is a distant third, and off the podium is Kamani Vidal. It's how I rank him. John says, gracias again for DJ Moore last night. Hey, man, I'm glad he came through in the clutch. It was a sweat all the way to the bitter end, but a massive line as a result of that bomb catch off of one. Caleb Williams is going to live forever in Chicago Bears lore. Mike Wilson or CJ Stroud? Thanks for all your help and guidance. I love your content. I'm going to go with Stroud there. I'm assuming this is a super flex. Yeah, it's got to be. I'm going to go with CJ Stroud. Good luck to you. And thanks for checking out the side as well. Again, I don't charge you anything. The only Sutton half-point BBR, Jalen Warren or Gainwell. Oh, that's close. I think they're interchangeable. This is really a coin flip. Again, Gainwell probably has the higher floor because of the pass catching appeal. Warren will probably be good for a couple of receptions. I still think he's got more touchdown upside. I will lean and trust my gut here with a TD upside, and that being Warren. Gypsy Queen says, this our Jordan Love. I'm so sad. Yeah, apologies for that. Nothing to really do about it. And Willis looked great last night, and instead, I need two flex. Ricky P, who is out, by the way, so that makes that one easy. Wandale, Tyrone Tracy, Brian Thomas, Michael Carter, Woody Marks. I'm going to go with Wandale for one, and I'll go with Woody Marks for the other. Hard to trust Brian Thomas. I'm probably going to see a lot of patches or tan in the no fly zone of the Denver Broncos. Good luck to you, Gypsy. John says, BTJ, Higgins, Pierce, or Coker. Speaking of Brian Thomas, I'd probably go Higgins here. Quite honestly, Coker's interesting. The back end, Pierce you can't trust. Obviously, he's a big play receiver. Phillip Rivers is like, I'm not ever going to really uncork for a 60-yarder. And he was really not ever going to uncork even for a 30-yarder. So we'd have to get appreciable yak in order to really rack production for you. Higgins has got a lot of touchdown appeal, though. I'm going to go there. Higgins barely over Coker, and Brian Thomas would be third on that list. Hola, amigo. For Mark, saw in the Gaming Juice, you have Jones above Gainwell. I do. Standard league, still stick with Jones. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my rankings. Again, I like the matchup here, taking on a defense in which the G-men have been bottom barrel pretty much all season long in rush EPA defense. Since week 10, the number 31 that category. So, I think Jordan Mason's got a really good shot of finding the end zone as well. I bet on that at plus 200. But Aaron could get in. They both could get in. So I think there's just more sex appeal with the variety of productive numbers that one Aaron Jones Sr. could post. So I'm going to stick to my guns and roll with him. Good luck to you, Mark. Todd says, Ola Brad, pick two for a wide receiver and a flex. Waddle, Pittman, Allen, 80 Mitchell. God. Pittman's out. Allen is in. I got to get a little bit of action there against that Dallas secondary. And you can stack him with Herbert? Yeah, do that. So give me Herbert at the quarterback position, and I guess I'll go Waddle with the other one. But again, Ewers, complete wild card. Peter says, Brad, thanks for all your prop picks and help. A great night last night with your picks. All wins. Hey, every once in a while, this moron gets something right. I've been on a bit of a mini heater. In the NFL, gave a few units back in college basketball. It was a weird day in college hoops yesterday. Typical after finals for a lot of schools. And I donated a few dollars in that sport. But hey, man, you know what? Always free, transparent. Check out my spreadsheet at thegamingjuice.com. Again, I don't charge you a dime. And never pay for picks, people. Don't be gullible. Don't be one of those people. Oh, my system is the best. Oh, the absolute best. All I do is win, 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 win. It's all a heaping pile of bullshit. It really is. There are a few like sharp guys that are out there, but they're not selling their picks. They're just making those picks and making a boatload of cash. So don't pay for picks. Gypsy says, I have the Chiefs as my defense. The Bills, Patriots, Falcons, Minnesota are available. Well, I kind of like the Buffalo Bills. Patriots are out. Falcons are way out. Minnesota, also somewhat interesting. I mean, you could roll with Kansas City. I have no issue with that. It's Tennessee. If you are having your doubts and reservations, to crush a lean on here is Buffalo, but I just stick with KC. Strider May, PBR. Oh, Drake May all day. Mark says also standard league Diggs, Coker, or Higgins. Standard league. Who's got the most touchdown appeal? I think it's Higgins. And that's the direction I'm going to go there. Roger says, hola, Brad. Hola to you. Full point PBR flex. Judkins, Dowdle, Michael Wilson, or Michael Carter. I'm going to go Michael Wilson, man. I think Michael Wilson's got a really good shot, like 5 for 70, 75, even with Marvin Harrison Jr. back and a possible touchdown. Again, if I feel, and I wagered on it, I feel the Battle of Birds in the Sonoran is going to be the highest scoring game of Sunday. Stick to your guns, Evans. Yeah, give me Wilson, although those are excellent options. Baker or Brissett, I'll stack. Give me Jacoby over Baker. Jeremy says, happy holidays, you jackwagon. Happy holidays to you, you jackwagon. What's your go-to spirit for eggnog? I don't drink eggnog. I just drink tequila. It's true. And I had quite a bit of Addictivo last night. Might have been a little bit of a THC beverage topper at the end of the night, so I could go night. True story. That was a celebration, Casa de Evans. Hanging out with the fam, having great conversations. We were all just elated at the end of that game. So there you go. That's my go-to. Mas Tequila. Pick 2, Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison, maybe. Jawan Johnson, Michael Carter. I'll go with both wide receivers of the Arizona Cardinals, even with that premium at the tight end position. Mark says, half point PPR, need one wide receiver in a flex. Jacoby, Wandale, Godwin, Tracy, Hubbard, or Dowdle. Dowdle is in for me. I think he could have a pretty decent day, something around 60 to 70 yards, and I think he'll find the end zone as well. I mean, Tampa's been so disappointing in the trenches this season. So Dowdle is in. And give me, what's that again I hear? Chris Godwin. I wrote about him this week. I feel he's going to be a fantasy flame. I'm going to stick to my guns there. Danny says, Daddy won't. Daddy need. Daddy gotta have it. Yeah, a little sledgehammer special. And of course, Danny's going to follow up with his question. Here it is. Kenneth Gainwell, Michael Carter, Justin Jefferson at PPR Flex. My God, it's all come to this for Justin Jefferson. I'm still going to play him this week. Look, if you can't get it done against the New York Giants, how could he ever trust Justin Jefferson again with J.J. McCarthy? I understand there's some upside appeal with Gainwell and Carter, but the ceiling, and it's stratospherically high given the matchup, is with Jefferson, and I'm going to chase the gold on the ceiling there. Jeremy says, I feel like I ask every week. Bench 1, Harvey, Judkins, Henry, Henderson. It's probably RJ Harvey. That Jacksonville defense is legit. They have just stifled all running backs this season. So it's really kind of touchdown or bust for RJ Harvey, in my opinion. And the other 3 backs all have decent matchups. WWWWW. I'm guessing bear down Chicago Bears from Fauci there. Aubrey says, hola, Brad. Hola. Half points. PPR, Tet or Marvin Harrison. Give me Marvin Harrison. Although it's really close between him and Ted or McMillan. Burrow or Baker. Give me Burrow. Thank you and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Aubrey. Good luck. Let's see. Fauci says Caleb Williams turned the Jets on. Yeah, he did, man. Look, all he had to do was uncork. And he had that capability, and there you go. Bingo, bango, bongo. Absolutely dropping that nuke last night. God, what a catch by DJ Moore. I just want to come on here and say thank you for the great advice this year. Hey, you're welcome, Phils. You are the GOAT. No, I'm just a human. I lost last week because likely gave me 0 points. Look, folks, I lose 2 in fantasy. I made 3 playoffs. I really whittled down the number of leagues. Like I used to play in like a dozen leagues, and I had to really, siphon some of those off so I can concentrate more on the betting markets and a little balance of fantasy and betting that's out there. I made the playoffs in 3 of 4. I lost in all 3 in the opening round. Absolutely brutal. So full bet mode is where I'm at right now. So I will definitely be firing off on some tickets elsewhere to get some of the action in the NFL today. But good luck in all your fantasy. And sorry, Phils, for getting ousted. Jeremy says, Shuck, McCarthy, Young, Cousins. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins. Again, love it. And he's got one more, Warren or Waller. I will go with Warren. It's kind of a lesser of two evils there. Patrick says, need some magic for a semifinal matchup. Already down big, facing Puka and JSN. Need 3. Jettas, which is Justin Jefferson. Michael Wilson in. Flowers possibly in. Keenan Allen. Tet. Okay, so I'm going to go Flowers. And I am going to go Michael Wilson. And I'm going to go Tedero McMillan. There you go. Kevin says Brissett or Knicks. Give me Jacoby. Ian says Michael Wilson or ETN. Ooh. And a half point PPR. Michael Wilson. Yeah, tough matchup there for ETN and the Mile High City taking on the Broncos. James, hola, amigo. Hola to you. I do have Jamar Chase, Diego Burrow, or Lamar. Dude, stack to your heart's content there. I mean, look, Burrow and Lamar are very close on my rankings. Burrow could absolutely just go off today. So, yeah, I'm going to go Joe Burrow. Evan says pick 3 in a dynasty PPR. Chase, auto. London, maybe. Flowers, possibly. Ladd, in. Judkins, maybe. I'm going to go Flowers, Chase. Oh, wait a minute. If London is indeed active, I rescind that. So Chase, London, Flowers. Bang, bang, bang. That's who I go with there. Although Ladd's really close. Kirk says Burrows or Purdy. Ain't he so Purdy? No, not in this case. Give me Joe Burrow, please. T-Law or Knicks. I will go with Knicks in the matchup. The same game, different names. Evan says, thank you. And one more. Ty Tracy or Rico Dowdle. Rico Arena Dowdle is my selection there. Doug says, Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. One of my top 3 Christmas jams, by the way. Standard scoring. Lawrence, Dart, or Knicks. Oh, Dart, please. Maximize a matchup today. Brees or Carter. I don't want anything to do with the Jets. I would go with Michael Carter in that one. Hola, 1.5 point PPR. Please sit one. Wilson, Flowers, Gainwell. It's going to be Gainwell for me, who I will ride the pine with. Terry Cezine, tight end help. Mark Andrews or Waller. Give me Mark Andrews. Again, it's yours. I don't really trust anything about him. The Don, PBR running back, Woody Marks, Warren, Estime, or Carter. I believe I have Warren the highest in my running back ranks. It's a close call between him and Woody Marks. Estime, Carter further down the list. So stick to my guns. Go with Jalen Warren. Hola, Big Daddy. Hola. Need 2. Wide receivers, half point PPR. Flowers, Lamb, McConka Donkey, Harrison, Jennings. Really good options here. Zay Flowers is in for me. Man, Jennings is interesting too. Give me McConkey for the second one. Barely over Harrison. Really, really close. Sorry, I thought I'd leave the first comment. Thank you, sir. Yeah, no sweat at all on that one. Coda says, hola, PPR. Theo or Andrews at tight end. I'm going to go Theo Johnson. And yeah, I think I've exhausted all of your questions. I know, not everybody is tuning in. A number is a little bit lower than normal here on this broadcast because a lot of you are out of the mix and a lot of you are already in holiday mood and completely understandable. If you do have any questions, you want to stink them in before I bid adieu, submit them via the various ways you see there at the bottom of your screen. Facebook at Yahoo Noise, Twitch at Big Noise 78, YouTube, the Faith the Noise channel, and on X, where I'm always giving it to you there at Noisy Huevos. Also, friendly reminder, folks, go to my free site and thegamingjuice.com. I love writing. I've been doing it since I broke into the business nearly 20 years ago. And I'm the most decorated writer in fantasy sports history. There's like all kinds of these silly trophies. They put me in a Hall of Fame for my pen. That's ridiculous. I've done a lot of work in television. I've produced, I've created shows. I'm now on radio. I kind of do a little bit of everything. I take great pride in being a jack of all trades. And you get all of that at thegamingjuice.com. Not only the written word, the spoken word as well with the Faith 5 podcast I do with Nathaniel Lundy. You could stream my radio show, BetMGM tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Going to be relaunching that bad boy on December 29th on the new Westwood One Sports Network. So you got to check that out. And again, just stream this highly punchable face there on the form. Maybe you're watching this show from there right now. Just go to thegamingjuice.com. Click Converse and Cash, you jackals. I don't charge you a dime. And go visit my friends at Betalytics and check out all of their awesome projections and use that promo code JUICE. Again, promo code JUICE for 25% off today. All right. It looks like we have one more question that has come in. Mark says the GOAT. Yeah, hardly the GOAT. But Milk Me. Russ says, hola, amigo, SMA, Waddle, or Woody. I'm going to go Woody Marks there, and we got a couple of more coming in. Resilient Bobby says Dart or Brissett. Oh, man, so close. I'm going to go Jacoby, man. I think he's got to throw for at least a couple of touchdowns. It could be like a 275-plus kind of day through the air. Maybe gets 15 to 25 rushing. Dart, of course, gets you like 40 or 50 rushing with a rushing TD. I just think it's a little bit of a safer floor for the Desert Bird and Jacoby Brissett. The Don still asking me questions. Jefferson, Myers, Otter Guessame, or Carter. I'd probably go Otter Guessame out of that quattro, although Jacoby Myers is a close second. Jeff says standard Jefferson or London. Definitely London for me. I want all the action I can get down there in the desert. Pickens or Harrison. Although I just said that, and I would still go with George Pickens. PPR sit one, Jefferson, London, or Sutton. Probably sitting Sutton. Come on, Brad. I got to get this in. LOL. Well, okay. Do you have an actual question, Miller? ILL? Come on, man. Bring the noise. If you want to get it in, get it in. I still think Notre Dame should have been in over the two that got smoked. College football was a letdown. I totally agree. And the system is broken. And it's not transparent enough of how they are deciding Team A versus Team B. And the little guys, as much as we love them, they have no place at the table. This ain't college basketball. Teams just have more talent. They're far more physical. Schematically, it's just harder to come up with a strategy for you to compete when you're completely outmatched in football. Basketball, you get hot, different ball game. But you cannot replicate the NCAA tournament and college football, period of the story. I want the best of the best. That is going to guarantee better games and not blowout scenarios. So if you want to have one seat at the table with the little guys, give them that one seat. That is it. Of the non-power four, whoever the best team is based on the power ranking, they get in. Outside of that, no. Nobody should be. Notre Dame should have been in. We would have had much more entertaining games as a result. Miller says, there is a question. Coker or Mitchell? Give me Jalen Coker. Don't be a cokehead, though. Sorry I missed this answer. Half point PPR for the only Sutton. Please sit one. I'm sitting Gainwell. I'm going to start Wilson and Flowers. Thank you and have a Merry Christmas. Same to you, Don. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas, you Jack Wiggins. Same to you, Resilient Bobby. Thanks, Brad. Yeah. You're welcome, man. I'm here. I'm going to do one more of these next week. No, I don't do it for week 18 because you should not play your fantasy title game in week 18. But I will have bets in week 18. I will have bets all the way through the Super Bowl. I will have bets in college basketball all the way through when we crown a champion in March Madness this season. So you get all that at thegamingjuice.com. Again, go there, sign up for a free account, interact with the content. I'm putting a lot of blood, sweat, and beers into the site, and I don't charge you a dime. So please visit it. Tell your friends, hey, man, I've been reading this awesome content on the site. You should really check it out. I know you're into betting. I know you're into fantasy. Brad is always offering his opinion, and, I take great pride in trying to be one of the most accessible voices in the industry as well. I'm just a dude like anybody else. I don't have all the answers, but I surely have an opinion, and I provide it freely. And I usually back it up with hard data and stats because I'm a numbers nerd. I love that kind of stuff. So again, check out the site at thegamingjuice.com. And you jackwagons, please have a wonderful holiday. I'm going to be kicking back. I'm off all week from the radio show. And again, I'm going to be relaunching it with Pat Boyle December 29th. BetMGM tonight. Please check it out. 6 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Again, Monday through Friday, we're going to talk sports. We're going to talk fantasy. We're going to talk betting as well. That's how it works. And, I'm a basketball holic, so a lot of college basketball, and a lot of in-depth discussions on the variety of NFL games. And, of course, the college football playoff that is still going on. You can always check me out, too, at Noisy Huevos on X. All right, I'm going to bid adieu. I'm going to be jumping on my buddy Danny Kloppinger here in about an hour and 20 minutes for another Bleacher Report AMA. Bring the noise variety there. Check it out on the Bleacher Report app. And if I get in time, I'll post a YouTube link as well. So you get your question answered here, fire it off there, and hopefully we can get to it. So good luck in your fantasy football games. Get to the championship game at Jack Wagons. Good luck in your various bets as well. And until next time, adios, amigos. Get the dub. Way to go, Bears. I still can't believe it.